I hope you're getting the glad rags on for tonight. But hello to everybody listening to Around the Northwest. It's Jimmy Stafford with you this Thursday afternoon till 2:30, and I'm delighted to be joined on the line by Alex Ainsworth, who is Drink Aware's digital media and content specialist. Alex, good afternoon to you.
Afternoon, Jimmy. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for joining us here around the Northwest on Highland Radio. And Alex, I know, I suppose this discussion is all about Gen Z, and if we title it, Gen Z is leading the sober curious movement, which encourages reduced or zero alcohol consumption without committing to total abstinence. Describe or tell us a bit about it, Alex, because it's a great initiative. I know it from TikTok and Instagram and all of the Gen Z population, if you want to describe that. It's something that's taken off.
Yeah, it really is. And what we're really noticing at Drinkware, so our Drinkware research, our barometer research is showing that the younger age cohort, so that would be like your Gen Zs, your 18 to kind of 24-year-olds, are really reducing their alcohol intake. And that's a really, really positive kind of step towards like mindful drinking and sober curiosity. And it is starting to have that shift in Irish drinking culture and making it more positive. And even like as a whole, like not even just Gen Z, I think it's well worth mentioning, that 48% of all adults in Ireland are, they're starting to want to embrace sober nights out and sober socializing, not just going, finding sober events, but kind of going down to the pub or to bars and restaurants and just opting for not having a drink, which I think is really positive. And again, we're seeing that positive shift. And another really interesting statistic from our drinkware barometer research, 63%, so well over half of adults in Ireland, they now feel comfortable drinking no or low alcohol
Mm.
drinks when they're with those who are drinking alcohol. Again, it's just showing that really positive change in Irish drinking culture.
And Alex, would you say the trend is driven by, I suppose, if we look back 15 years ago or 10 years ago, social media wouldn't have been as prominent as it is now. When you look at all the different platforms from Snapchat to TikTok and so on and so forth, is part of this driven by social media in one context, and then the other part, which is inside that, is the whole health status, if you like, of drinking less and those sober nights. Where you, in your research, have you looked into that or where this is all coming from?
Really want to look into. So it's not something that we can exactly pinpoint. And for me to say that it's coming from social media or from X, Y, and Z wouldn't be fair. So I wouldn't have those exact
Mm.
statistics. But we do see, and what we can see is that adults are becoming far more health conscious. So I think again the stat is like 63% of adults in Ireland are like their motivation to drink less is for their physical health. Um, and with that, people are opting to go on their sober nights out so they feel more fresh the next day. They can go for their runs, they can go do social things with their friends, like go for their coffees, their walks. But aside from doing like their walks and their coffees and all these things, there's loads of we've kind of noticed that there's loads of alternative things that are kind of popping up, especially in around maybe the bigger cities, so like Dublin and Cork. You're seeing a lot of kind of sauna, like short form saunas popping up, or sober raves happening. And I think they're great spaces for people to go to when they want to socialize but not have a drink.
Yeah, and I think as well you're seeing things like sea swimming and all this sort of stuff right across,
Mm,
and especially in beautiful Donegal here,
yeah.
Alex, the beaches that we have, and I know lots of people, and there's different lots of groups, so and it's all ages as well. And I think that again, from a health perspective, is certainly driving people. And I suppose the other thing is the zero zero culture as well. When you go in now and you see shelves of zero zero, that's again, it's giving people an alternative when they go into. And I know from talking to younger people in the past that they can now buy a zero zero and not have to drink an alcoholic drink, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the zero zeros are a great option for people. Like we're definitely seeing that people, like I said, that 63% statistic of people feeling comfortable, of adults feeling comfortable drinking no's or low alcohol alternatives. So like your zero zeros, they give the adults an option. If they don't want a soft drink, might not want to be drinking Fantas or Cokes all evening, but they might want to have like a zero zero branded drink. And that's absolutely fine to do. And it again, it just gives people that option. And what's great about them as well is they give people the option who, you know, we there is this bit of culture still in Ireland where you kind of go, oh, why aren't you drinking tonight? Are you on antibiotics?
Mm,
There might be women who are pregnant, and they might be deciding, you know what, I'll have 0-0 instead. And again, it's a great option for people, but also alternatively, it's giving people that option to kind of go, actually, I just don't want to drink tonight. I'm going to have 0-0. My friends know I'm having a 0-0, or I'm having a soft drink or a water. And people are feeling a lot more confident
mm.
in doing that. Um,
And
and then they can still get up the next day like that in beautiful Donegal. You're spoiled for choice for your beaches, your gorgeous walks, so scenic. So like they can go out and they can go enjoy that. They're getting the day back
yeah.
rather than wallowing.
And the other thing, of course, is I love the designated driver, and lots of, especially here,
Mm.
in Donegal, where people are designated drivers now, and especially in the younger cohort, and being able to take two or the three friends, and which is really, that whole concept, you encourage that as well. I know the pubs and restaurants encourage the designated driver as well. That I remember a couple of years ago there was a designated driver kind of campaign around get your free soft drink or whatever it might be, and perhaps it's still ongoing in some locations, but. And I like the bit then as well around the gym membership, because the Gen Zs, as we call them, that's risen as well, hasn't it? That whole gym membership and that participation in active fitness and feeling well and good.
Like I don't know any, young person who isn't out either running, doing a high rocks, training for a marathon. All my friends are doing it as well. Like really health conscious. And the designated driver campaign, like I know Coca-Cola, they do that around Christmas time where they have the designated driver campaign with the free soft drinks. And I think it's great that pubs and bars really encourage that throughout the year as well, and having the designated driver, um, because it just means that people are getting home safe and we can reduce the amount of people who are, driving maybe over the limit the next morning, putting themselves and others at risk. It's the last thing I think anybody wants to
Mm,
do. Um, and with that, just with the bank holiday coming up, it's really important to remember that any amount of alcohol is going to impair your ability to drive, even the next day. And something that we really encourage at Drinkware is to know what the myths around sobering up are. So, there's a lot of kind of sobering up myths you hear about, drinking a coffee, going for a run, having a big loaf of bread, big breakfast. None of those things work. Only time will process the alcohol. And if you feel if you feel unsafe or ever unsure to drive, again, get a designated driver, appoint one,
mm.
get the buses, transport, and things like that, or ask a really good friend for a lift when you know that they're safe to drive.
Absolutely brilliant. So, and check out drinkware.ie. That's your that the website, isn't it, or the people to
That's
look
our
into?
website, yeah, drinkware.ie, and we have a brilliant drinks calculator. So it's called the Drinks Calculator at drinkware.ie. You can find it on our webpage, on our website, or you can go over to social media on our Instagram pages as well. And it'll all be linked. Basically, you input what you have consumed, and it'll give you an estimated time of how long it's going to take your body to process. Um, and again, I think what's really important just to remember is it takes 1 hour to process one standard drink, and the time starts when you finish your last drink. And I think maybe some listeners are going to be surprised to hear that 1 pint is actually two standard drinks.
Mm,
So it's going to take at least 2 hours to process 1 pint.
okay.
So it's just really, really something to think about and just remember if you're going out this bank holiday weekend.
Absolutely more, and especially around bank holiday, but every day and every night, but especially around bank holiday
Yeah.
weekends when there's a huge amount of socialising. Bear that in mind the morning after, and keep up the
Mm.
good work, Alex. And I suppose promoting that whole concept, and check out the TikTok, and you'll see some trends in that as well. But Alex Ainsworth from Drinkaware's digital media and content, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the Gen Z and all that sort of stuff, and telling us about what's happening out there and the trends. And I suppose to everyone, have a safe weekend if you're out and about. And Alex, thanks for joining us on around
Thank you so
Northwest.
much.
And you're welcome to
Bye.
visit us anytime in Donegal. That's
Thanks for having us.
oh, well, thanks, Alex. That's Alex from
Bye.
Drinkaware's, and she's the digital media and